Hello everyone, welcome back to Mathematics MJ where numbers make sense. So our today's lesson is based on sequences, grade 12 sequences. But before we start with that, I want us to go back to grade 11. I want us to go back to grade 11 and just to recap, to test your prior knowledge. So grade 11, we have covered what we call quadratic pattern and is given in the formula of Tn is equal to an squared plus bn plus c, right? Usually they can just say, maybe for an example, they would give you a pattern of 8, 20, 38, and 62. And then they are looking for Tn, which is this, right? Looking for Tn, what do we do there? You first subtract, right? We look for the first difference. You get you 12, 18, and 24. And then now we have to solve or calculate for our second common difference, which is 6 and 6. And then from here, we use these formulas. 2a is equals to, equate to 6. That's 6 there. And then divide both sides by 2, and then your a is equals to 3. And then we have your 3a plus b will be equals to your 12. So you write your 12 there. And then you have your 3, substitute your a there. So in place of a, we substitute 3 equals to 12. That's 9 plus b equals to 12. Now 12 minus 9, we get 3. Then the last one, a plus b plus c is equals to 8, right? So this is 8. Your a is 3, your b is 3 plus c equals to 8. And this simply give us 6 plus c, which is equals to 8. C is equals to 2. And then we can say, therefore, Tn is n squared plus bn plus c. Your a, that's 3n squared plus b, that's 3n plus 2. And then you found your general formula, right? This was just a revision of a quadratic pattern. So I want us to quickly move to grade 12, arithmetic sequence. Now we're moving to arithmetic sequence. So for arithmetic sequence, the first thing that you have to know the fact that arithmetic sequence has the first common difference, unlike geometric sequence, right? And is given as Tn equals to a n minus 1 there times d, where a is our first term. And then n is our position. So that's the position. So it's the position of the term in the sequence. And then your d, common difference. Common difference can be calculated as T2 minus T1 equals to T3 minus T2, right? Yeah, so, and then from there, that's when now you can start looking for your general term, your n, your d, and so forth. answering those questions. And then before we even move further, I want to explain something which is really important. We'll use it at the later stage. So we have your formula there, Tn equals to A plus n minus 1 there, where T1 we said is equals to A. Why are we saying is equals to A? From the formula there, substitute 1 in place of n. So you'll have 1 minus 1 times D. This is A plus 0 D, which gives us A. So T1 is equals to A. Correct. Now, T2 is equals to A plus 2 minus 1 times D. And this will give us 2 plus, A plus D. That's your T2. Now, T number 3, eventually this will be A plus 2D. T number 60, this is A plus 59D, and so forth. So that's what we have to use, right? So let's move to example 1 for arithmetic sequence, right? Example 1. So for example 1, they're saying now find the 10th term of the sequence. And then they give you the sequence 5, 12, and 19. So what do we do? Tn is equals to A plus n minus 1. What is your A? A is equals to, sorry, A is equals to 5. Now subtract, this is 7 and 7, which means your D is equals to 7. Now substitute, your A is 5 plus n minus 1 times 7 there. That's your 5. Now use the distribution law. 7 times n, 7 times negative 1. That's 7n minus 7. This is 7n, 5 minus 7, that's minus 2. Tn. And then from there, we're looking for T number 10. T10 is equals to 7, that's 10 minus 2, which is 70 minus 2, which will give us 68. And that's it. Now let's move to example 2. So for example 2, they're saying which term of the sequence and then they give us 1 over 4 minus 1 minus 2, 1 over 4 there is 2, and then they're saying is equal to negative 13 and a half question mark. So basically your A here is equals to 1 over 4. Your D is equals to T2 minus T1, negative 1 minus 1 over 4. This will give us minus 5 over 4. Then that's your common difference. Even if we subtract this and that, you'll still get minus 5 over 4. And then your Tn, it's this value there, which is minus 13 and a half, right? Now, let's use the formula now. Tn is equals to A plus n minus 1 times d. Immediately when they start saying which term, which means they're looking for n, which term, position, right? So which term? Now, what is your Tn? Tn is minus 13. And then what is A? That's 1 over 4. N minus 1. What is D? Minus 5 over 4. Right? And then from here, let's try and simplify this. This will give us minus 27 over 2. And then transpose 1 over 4, that's minus 1 over 4, equals to minus 5 over 4, and then n minus 1. Use your calculator there to subtract these two. You get your minus 55 over 4 equals to minus 5 over 4. Then it's n minus 1. Now from here, we multiply both sides by 4. We have to get rid of the fractions. And then now you have your minus 55 equals to minus 5, and then n minus 1. Now divide both sides by minus 5 to isolate n. So n minus 1 is equals to 11. And then from here, transpose. Now n is equals to 12. And then we got the value of n. Now let's move to our example 3. So for example 3, they're saying determine the arithmetic sequence if the fourth term is negative 6 and the 11th term is negative 34. Let me repeat the question again. Determine the arithmetic sequence if the fourth term is negative 6, meaning now T4 is equals to negative 6, and then the 11th term is equals to, so T11 is equals to negative 34. Now, we have to apply whatever that I taught you earlier on. T4 can be expressed as A plus 3D equals to minus 6. And then T11 can be expressed as A plus 10D equals to minus 34. Right? So this becomes your equation 1. And then this is equation 2. Now let's just say equation 1 minus equation 2. Simultaneous equation. We apply the elimination method. So you have your A plus 3D equals to minus 6. Now subtract A plus 10D equals to minus 34. Now let's subtract there. A minus A, that's 0. 3 minus 10, that's minus 7D equals to minus 6 minus minus 34. That's positive 28. Same as saying minus 6 there, minus minus 34. That's minus 6 plus 34, which is 28. And then let's from here divide both sides by negative 7. Now your D is equals to minus 4. Right? After getting your D, let's substitute our D into equation 1. What is our equation 1? A plus 3D equals to minus 6. Can you see, guys, that simultaneous equation now is coming back? And imagine we are just working with sequences here. We're busy with sequences. So you have your A there plus 3 times negative 4. In place of D, we substitute negative 4. Now this is A minus 12 equals to minus 6. Now transpose minus 12. Now it changes to positive 12 minus 6, which will give us a positive 6. Right? Now you have your A as 6 and your D as -4. Now give us the pattern. A is 6. Now 6 minus 4, that's 2. Now minus 2, 2 minus 4, that's -2. And then this is your sequence. Then we found it. Perfect, we're done. Now I want us to move to the last example, and then that's it. Example 4. So for example 4, now we are given, let's say in T5, given that T5 is x minus 2, and then T6 is 2x minus 6, and T7 is 4x minus 8. A, we have to solve for x, and then B, we have to look for the sequence. Okay, cool. Now let's start with A. With A, let's apply the logic of finding the common difference. T7 minus T6 would be equals to T6 minus T5. This is just the formula for getting the common difference, right? But what is T7? T7 is just 4x minus 8. Subtract. And then T6 is just 2x minus 6 equals to, again, T6, that's 2x minus 6, and then minus your T5 there, that's x minus 2, right? Now, again, we've just moved from simultaneous. Now we're moving to distribution law, grade 10. And you see, it integrates all the topics. So now we have your 4x minus 8, that's minus 2 there, plus 6 equals to, now you'll have your 2x minus 6, which is minus x plus 2. Now collect the like terms, my favorite step. Collecting the like terms, 4 minus 2, that's 2x. Minus 8 and 6. We get minus 2 equals to 2 minus 1 here. That's x. Plus 6, minus 6 plus 2, that's minus 2. Sorry, that's minus 4. And then from here, transpose now. Let's transpose. So you transpose x to the left-hand side, and then minus 2 to the right-hand side. And then here you get your x equals to minus 2. And then this is your final answer, right? And then after getting your final answer, which is x minus 2, got your x minus 2 there. Your x is equals to minus 2. Now, what is your T5? Let's talk about T5. T5 is equals to x minus 2. Now, in place of x, we substitute minus 2, and then it's minus 2. This will give us minus 4, right? And then for T6, what do you have there? For T6, we have 2x minus 6. This is 2 times minus 2 minus 6 there. This will give us minus 4 and minus 6, which is minus 10. Same applies to T7. When we follow the same procedure for T7, we get minus 16. I'm just substituting, guys, right? And then after substituting, we have to get our D. How do we get your D? T6 minus T5. That's minus 10 minus minus 4. And then this gives us a minus 6, right? So which means our D is minus 6. Now we're looking for the sequence, right? So now Tn is equals to A plus N minus 1. Now let's substitute 5. So T5 is equals to A plus, now you have your 5 minus 1 times your D there, that's minus 6. Perfect. So this is A plus 4 times minus 6. But what is our T5? We got T5 as negative 4. And then we multiply these two to get minus 24. And then here we have your A minus 24. Right? And then now transpose. So your A therefore is equals to 20. And then we found your A is 20, so we can now say, therefore, your A is 20, we're looking for the pattern. Now, 20 minus 6, that's 14. The next term, 14 minus 6, that's 8. And then this is your pattern. Now you have found your pattern. Guys, this was just the last part of our video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.